Let me just respond to this on behalf of all the 40-plus-year-old single women who are single by choice, not because they can't find a man. We are not leftovers. We have made a beautiful life for ourselves. A lot of us are very independent, successful, able to completely financially sustain not only ourselves, but our beautiful families. The pool of men who are secure enough in their own identity that they are not threatened by women like that is about this big. So when we are single, it's because we have been dealing with men who are so insecure that they are threatened and they try to knock us down to make themselves feel better, and we don't have time for that.
Say what now? What now?
And allow me to address what you've just said on behalf of all the self-respecting men of the cosmos. Woman, you're selling yourself short. You're most certainly not leftovers. Leftovers actually serve a vital purpose in the household. Leftovers provide a good amount of sustenance to folks. They're easy to prepare, and economically speaking, it's a great way to save not only money, but time as well. You're more like a used up oily rag you find in the corner of the garage. Do you serve a purpose? Well, sure, but barely. You're not that clean. You're hidden away because people don't want to see you, you look like crap, you smell even worse, and you're only brought out when a man needs to wipe something filthy all over you, and typically those men are from your dating pool that you've used your fingers to describe, which in my opinion is an ample description of what those men did to your swampy scum chamber of broken dreams.
We have such a beautiful life full of incredible things that we have worked our ass off to enjoy. We have probably dealt with a lot of man-childs who can't take a strong woman who doesn't need them, but just wants to be with them. Men have a tendency to want to fill the provider role. And when a woman is financially independent, emotionally able to be okay and feels whole without a man, they don't know what to do.
What in God's holy name are you blathering about?
Maybe I'm wrong on this one, but I don't see how you worked your ass off to get all those things you enjoy when you were too busy sitting on that ass in divorce court while having your lawyer demand all of your husband's property, life savings, and dignity in the form of alimony and child support. And when these so-called insecure man-children see you, they see a single mother who has no problem destroying a father's life in exchange for money. They're not insecure. Quite the opposite. They are not willing to sacrifice any of their resources for a woman like you. They're secure in themselves to know that they are better than you in every possible way. And you can't hide that with the makeup you wear, the filters you use, and the delusions you feed yourself into blaming us for not wanting to waste our valuable time with you and your obvious baggage.
But I'm going to tell you what to do. Be their best friend, okay? Make them laugh, comfort them, support them as they're pursuing your dreams, and I guarantee you, she will do the same in return. So to all the men out there wondering what's wrong with her, why is she still single when they see a 40-plus-year-old woman, understand that she is blissfully happy, so thrilled in her life that she doesn't want to have to deal with your insecurities because you're not.
Call me crazy, but I have my doubts that there's a single man out there who's wondering why you're single. First off, you're in your 40s. Second, you're a single mother. And third, you are insecure to an insane degree. It's really no mystery there. You sit there and claim that if a man simps for you and supports your dreams, that she'll do the same, when we all know that's a load of caca of the donkey variety. Let's just say, for the sake of argument, that there's a rich man out there who, after getting hit in the face with a crescent wrench, decided to give you a full-on commitment. Are you going to support him with any of the resources you claim to have worked your fat ass off? Of course not. That's your money, and the man is supposed to provide. You see where I'm going with this? Men have actually worked their asses off to build their lives, and you extorted yours. And the kind of men that you desire know better than to get into bed with an extortionist, especially one as hideous as you. Call me insecure if you want, but if you weren't, then why are you caking on all of that makeup all over your face?
Checkmate. Checkmate. Checkmate.
Dang.
If you are a woman who feels like you need to start dating with the purpose of getting married because you want a child, but deep down inside it feels really unsettling, you feel like it would change your life in a way that's not in your best interest, that would have to compromise on things that you are not willing to compromise on, that you don't want to compromise on, I don't care what it is, you don't have to get married. You don't have to date. It is okay to be single. I had this pit in my stomach, like this anxiety that would wake me up in the middle of the night, because I was dating because I felt like I had to in order to do what I wanted to next, which was be a mother.
Really?
You know what? I gotta admit, I'm almost impressed here. Woman, you have yourself a gift. You have the power to destroy the brain cells of millions of people with the mere power of your brain-dead words. If the idea of dating is filling you with that much dread, how could you possibly think it would be a smart idea to bring a child into your dumpster fire of a life? That seems incredibly unfair and a rather selfish thing to do. You just contradicted yourself anyway. How can you say that you don't want to make any compromises with your life, but then decide to have a baby, which is one of the ultimate compromises that you can make? So not only do you clearly have a bunch of unresolved issues, but you're also a mother who has no basic grasp of the English language. I'm sure your child is gonna have one hell of a leg up when it comes to their future. No doubt about that one at all.
Today, I'm a single mom by choice. I have a toddler daughter, and it is the best thing I have ever done. I was stressing out about having to compromise and having to take into consideration someone else's schedule and someone else's life. And I don't mean a child, I mean an adult, and the ways in which I would have to compromise mine. I just didn't want to do it. If you don't want to do it either, that is okay. I don't care what your hang up is for your hesitations about marriage or a long-term partner. It's your soul telling you that it's not right. Maybe it's not the right time now or ever.
You're not just wrong, you're stupid. Now wait just a minute. And you're ugly, just like your mum.
I gotta be honest here, I don't normally like saying this, but you're not only incredibly stupid, but you are a terrible mother. You decided that because you weren't willing to compromise your life by having to deal with another man's schedule, you compromised your daughter's future instead. Children need fathers in their lives. There's no other way around it. But because you didn't like the idea of having to share your life with a man, you're willing to sacrifice your daughter's mental well-being instead. And unless that child's father is some kind of an inhuman bastard, there's absolutely no justification of any kind for that kind of a betrayal to your own flesh and blood. But none of that matters because it's the best thing you could have ever done for you. But I find it interesting how this is benefiting you, and you've mentioned nothing about how this benefits your own daughter, but I guess you're too busy admiring your own scheduling skills to care about something like that.
In a few days, my daughter and I are getting ready to travel to one of my bucket list destinations, which also happens to be a great place to bring toddlers. Still able to check off the things that I want to do and live where I want to live and travel where I want to travel and not have to worry about anyone else but me and my daughter and our schedules and our wants and our desires. And it is the most incredible thing. So if you have that pit in your stomach and the reason is you don't want to have to plan and make changes to your life based on another adult's life, that is valid.
I want a potty. I want a cookie. I want to stay up. I want me. Mine. Now.
Wow, so you're going to one of your bucket trip places, huh? Well, good for you. But what if this place wasn't toddler friendly? Would you still go? Well, of course you would, because you're the type of selfish wretch that puts her dreams first and the well-being of her child second. Nobody cares what you want, you vile creature. When you end up giving birth to a child, it is your duty as a mother to protect that child and give it every advantage you possibly can in order for it to survive. But all you're doing is talking about trips and how great your life is without any concern for that kid, and for some reason you think this behavior is completely justified, all because you never liked dating. Well, I'll tell you a secret, lady. I don't like dealing with pricks, but that doesn't stop me from going to my family reunion every year. I have to say, I feel bad for your child, lady, and I'm kind of ashamed to know you. That kid deserves a mother and a father, not a self-absorbed train wreck.
I know it, your family knows it. Dogs know it.
Even tell you how many times I have gotten asked this question. If there was a single 30-year-old man on this platform, he would never get this kind of comment. It's honestly baffling to me that we call men who are single later on in life a bachelor, and we call women spinsters. You should see my comments. I'm getting called a spinster all the time. We're applauding people like George Clooney for getting married in his 60s and finding a happily ever after, and women single in their 60s, oh, might as well just end it.
Bullshit!
Here we go. Okay, sister, I'm about to educate you on something. The reason why men are considered bachelors well into their 60s is because men age while women grow moldy. And instead of owning up to that, you're just gonna blame society as expected. But here's where you're dead wrong. Women like you drone on and on about how older men will get with younger women and call them predators. But at the same time, a sagging old crow nets herself a 20-year-old guy and she's considered a boss bay cougar on the prowl. You constantly shame men for not going for women your your age, but at the same time constantly shit all over us for not being good enough for you. And if you're single in your 60s, you might as well forget it because your desirability has hit rock bottom so hard that even hobos aren't willing to lower their standards, even if you offer them a hot shower and free drugs.
Since the age of 20, I have been asked questions of like, are you seeing anyone? When are you getting married? Or have you met anyone nice? It almost indicates that the only way that a woman can provide her value in this world is if she is married or if she's having kids. I've personally been online bullied by people like Matt Walsh and Candace Owens and called selfish for the fact that I don't have kids and I don't have a family. It's like they would rather I be with men who treat me poorly than be single. The math just really isn't mathing for me. And let's also not forget that the way that people are meeting one another nowadays is on a dating app where you just upload photos of yourself and post some prompts, and that's how we're supposed to find someone normal nowadays.
You hear what I said? Do you hear what I said? Hey, pal, your excuses are your own.
Let's just get something out of the way here. You're not being bullied. If you kept to yourself and didn't brag about how you were considering thinking about maybe possibly learning how to make shakshuka for the entire internet to see, nobody would be talking about you. You are being called out because a woman is supposed to bear children and keep the species going. Like I always say, this is biology, and it's kind of depressing to know that an intergalactic bounty hunter who only passed middle school purely out of pity knows this and you don't. And it's not that you're constantly getting with men who treat you poorly. You just assume they will because you chased after Chad instead of trying to find a stable man, and you can find good men pretty much anywhere. These men are at the grocery store, they're at the library, they're even at the park. But to be fair, we are talking about you, so those men are probably all at Skeeter's house learning to throw axes and jamming out to Night Ranger. But you choose the apps because you're lazy and you think you're entitled to the best when you can't even realize that math isn't a verb.
I'm so glad I didn't end up marrying people that I met in my early 20s because I really didn't know who I was. And to call me selfish for not settling, I just don't understand it, and I never will. I think it's really admirable that women are taking their time to figure out who they are, establishing careers and becoming the best versions of themselves. So let's stop asking women why they're still single like it's a bad thing. I'm literally so tired of it.
Nobody cares what you think.
But that's just it, lady. You don't even know who you are now. You're just some broad who posts uninteresting crap on TikTok. You have no goals, you have no ambition, and you've done nothing to convince me that you're even worth talking to in an elevator. You're not supposed to know who you are before you get married. It's called life. You figure that stuff out as you go. You don't put your basic biological instincts on hold to go quote unquote find yourself, because all you're gonna do is go out and get drunk at a Beyonce concert. I know this because you literally admitted to doing that in your stupid shakshuka video. But now it's too late. You're a lost cause. You've posted enough cringe on TikTok to all but guarantee that any self-respecting man will want absolutely nothing to do with you. But you can sit there and talk about how complete you feel with your life without a husband or a family all you want. But we all know the truth. And the harsh truth is that much like your ovaries, you're dying inside. And that is gonna do it for today's video, gentlemen and gents. As always, if you find that my particular brand of humor is bringing you to the brink of laughter, then why don't you scroll on down and click that like and subscribe button, and let's ring the notification bell and give the good old-fashioned middle finger to the YouTube algorithm. Thank you so much for checking out the new video, and until next time, peace out, homies.